like, no matter what you do, if you put it on the internet, someone's gonna hate it. Like, no matter what, someone's gonna hate it. But it's fun. Like, I get to have fun. Like, I'm here, and I get to do this, so I don't care. They're on the internet. It doesn't matter.
100 jumping ants versus flying prey. Now, you know we're trying to get back with the animal insects type videos. Back with the ant one. Jumping ant is crazy. I never heard of this in my fucking life. Never seen this in my life. If I seen one jump, I would have thought it was possessed and I would have stumped on it. But we're about to see what a jumping ant is, see what it can do. Let's go ahead and get into it.
But I don't have just one jumping ant. I have over 100 ants in these tubes.
Damn, they big as hell.
Ranging from crickets, massive locusts 10 times their size, and even flying prey that they'll have to jump onto mid-flight. Yeah, this one's going to be interesting to watch. Now, before we can give all the ants the challenges, we have to unbox them and give them their new nest, which comes with a full lit up LED underground section that they'll eventually have to fight in.
These bitches
Let's
so
unbox
good,
the
boy.
100 ants and everything that was included in the package. And of course, a big
They're supposed to be healthy, made with fruit and vegetables too.
First, we have the outworld.
Candy,
This is where
though.
the ants will be placed in at the start before moving into their nest. And
Tastes like nerd
container,
ropes.
we have the ants, but let's leave them till last. Then we had the main nest, which is where the ants will be having all their battles in and bringing their eggs into later on. Now, when taking a look at the ants, I made a pretty big mistake.
Where the hell do you be ordering ants from?
I got the first tube completely okay, but when I took out the second tube, I somehow managed to pull the cap off as well. I started panicking,
hell
lightly
no.
tapping on the tube to keep them at the bottom because you do not want to get stung by these as their sting is really painful. I managed to put something over the top of the tube in the meantime, and then I finally
What
got
happened? Brave Wilderness get bit by one of these.
the cap back on. If you look close, you can see the eggs of these ants, which are a lot different to normal ant eggs. These ones you can actually see move around, which look really creepy.
Yeah, they big as hell.
Now, with all the ants ready to go, it was time to make the outworld where I'll let them all out into. I just made a quick outworld, nothing crazy, just a rocky substrate with some rocks to add some extra climbing opportunities.
He took care of his
After I'd
ants.
done the outworld, it was time to add the ants. I added each tube one by one and then opened the end of each tube and watched hundreds of ants starting to run out and explore their new outworld. Now, what's different about these ants compared to other ants? Well, first of all, they're massive compared to normal ants, being about 10 times the size of ants. Not only that, but they have massive mandibles that grab onto their prey. Then, they also have these massive painful stingers on the back of them, which is extremely painful, with some saying it's worse than a wasp sting. And of course, the last one being they wiggle their bum and leap onto their prey, which is super cool to watch happen. Now,
We
for
gonna
the
see.
first challenge, I did give them some fruit
I'm not
flies,
them.
but it didn't seem like they were really interested. Maybe the fruit flies were too small, so it didn't trigger that feeding response. I decided to connect a tube to their new nest, and this is where they'll fight loads of different prey and even bring in their live eggs into to hatch. As soon as I added the tube, the ants instantly started to check it out. But I didn't want this to be easy. I wanted the ants to fight and secure the nest. I added a small cricket, but trust me, later on, I'll be challenging them with a lot bigger prey, and even insects that can fly
one is
and
gonna
they'll
take
have
what-
to jump onto to try take down.
One is taking down that cricket. I ain't gonna lie. One.
As you can see, after adding the cricket, the ants were a lot more interested in this type of prey, maybe because it was a lot bigger. After a few pokes from the ants, the cricket made the mistake of going deeper into the nest. The ants had cornered the cricket and tried to catch it in their massive mandibles, but they were struggling. And this is when backup slowly started to arrive into the nest. But below ground, the fight was still going on between the ants and the cricket, with one of
Damn.
the ants managing to leap onto the cricket and catch it just for a second. They're slowly learning how to take this cricket down. As some time passed, the lights came on and it was time for round 2. Let's see if they can take the cricket down this
That
time.
cricket's done.
The cricket made the mistake of going into a chamber of the nest where there are 4 ants guarding the entrance.
Bro,
You can see the
get
ants
out,
throw their
nigga.
bombs and pounce onto the cricket. The ants were still struggling though, even as a group. You can see
Damn.
the ants sometimes grab onto the cricket for a second, but letting go. But if you know anything about ants, they'll never give up on a fight,
Get out.
especially if they're hungry. But somehow, even after all that, the cricket managed to get out of the nest to safety,
Oh, yeah.
or so I thought. Now, because the cricket was up in the main outworld, the ants started to bring the eggs into the nest for safety. And it's when recording the eggs that this happened up on top on the surface.
Damn. He's done.
One of the ants had the cricket completely pinned down
One
and
ant
started using that painful stinger, injecting the venom into the cricket, slowly killing it inside out. Other ants came over as well to see if they had finally defeated the cricket, and in typical heroic fashion, the ants single-handedly lift the cricket on its side of the tank. This showed all the other ants that the cricket was finally defeated. The strength of these ants is absolutely crazy, and they'll need this strength because they have 3 more challenges coming up.
They holding that nigga like a trophy.
A lot more difficult. Over the next few days, the ants looked after their eggs, while some of the other ants started to feast on the cricket that they took down. After all that, I think they're ready for the next challenge, which again is a cricket. But this cricket is huge compared to the other one, and you've seen how much they struggled with the other cricket, so this will be super interesting to see if they can take it down. The ants slowly started to take interest in the cricket, and what happens next was actually insane. One of the ants slowly started to go over to the cricket.
It's not scared of
Out
shit.
of nowhere, the ant pounced onto the cricket.
Damn!
Glued onto the head of the cricket.
Damn!
Pinning the cricket onto the ground. You can see the cricket try its best to push the ants off, but the ant was stinging the cricket over and over, releasing that venom straight into it.
Oh, he's done. One ant.
More ants came out of the nest and started to help as well.
One
The cricket was
ant.
then brought fully underground,
What?
for days off of this one cricket alone. This was insane to see and truly shows the strength.
I'm gonna lie, there. I thought they're gonna have to jump that big ass nigga. He jumped from the top ropes like Jeff Hardy. Are we serious? Like he was in a steel cage match.
One of these tiny ants, but their next challenge would be completely different.
I jump out the rope. I feel like Jeff Hardy. I feel like Jeff Hardy.
This one had wings. After a few days had passed, I thought it was time to add the next challenge. This time, I'm adding big flies, which you guessed it by the name, they can fly. After adding the fly, one of the ants took interest pretty quickly. The ant started to slowly follow the fly around. Out of nowhere, the ant snapped onto the fly's leg. The fly tried its best to fly away, but like we've seen before, the strength of these ants are extremely tough. But the fly somehow managed to get away. It wasn't until a few moments later when the fly got a little too close and the ant snatched onto the fly again. Then the ant started to inject his venom into the fly.
Now he's done.
Once the fly had been taken over by the venom, he was then carried back into the nest to be used as food for the whole colony.
Still injecting
now, adding one fly was too easy, so I added 3 flies in to see how they would react and take down 3 at once. The ants were all underground, feeling the vibrations above them, with one ant starting to poke their head out to see what was going on above ground. One of the ants started to gain a lot of confidence, and just when the ant was about to pounce, the fly jumped away, startling the ant. Then, a few moments later, the ant gained some confidence and came fully out of the nest. He spotted the fly, and the ant slowly started to stalk the prey. And just as the ant was about to pounce, the fly got away.
Is that a dead ant? He just walked on your dead homie.
Then, out of nowhere, the fly for some reason walked straight into the path of the ant. The ant snatched right onto the fly's neck.
Lucky hella dead ants.
The ant slowly started to inject the venom into it, and the fly tried its best to fight, but it was eventually pulled underground by 2 ants. Now for the last 2 flies, one of them literally just went down into the nest to check what happened to his fly friend, and yeah, I'm pretty sure you can guess what happened. He was swarmed instantly by all the ants.
He's dumb as hell. He's dumb as hell.
And just like the other 2 flies, the last one was captured pretty quickly. But this one was not going down without a fight, and almost started to fly away with the ants still on him. There was now 2 ants trying to pull this fly down into the nest.
Yo!
The fly was strong.
This fly hit the weights, but it don't matter, bro. You're done. That venom's about to kick in.
After a while, the venom from the ants had taken over the fly, and they had now defeated this challenge. But this next challenge was borderline impossible. After a few more days, the ants were feasting away on the meals that they had captured. But
drop them all in
to give them the impossible challenge of defeating a massive locust 10 times their size.
Oh yeah.
I really don't know if they're going to be able to do this, but let's find out. After putting the locust in, he instantly fell into the nest, which was already not a good sign. I don't even know how the locusts managed to do this, to be honest. As time passed, the locusts managed to get out. I mean, just look at the size of this bug compared to the ants. This is going to take some serious strength to take down. One of the ants was literally face to face with the locust. Just when it looked like the ant was about to attack, the locust managed to pounce away. Then, that same ant grew some confidence and started to slowly walk up to the locust. After some time and trying to figure out the best way to take it down, the ant started to wiggle his bum. This is a sign that the ant is about to pounce. But just as the ant was about to attack, the locust punched him away.
Damn.
As more time passed, more ants started to arrive, and each of them started to take jabs at the locust. This went on for genuinely hours, so I left for a while, and what I came back to was honestly so shocking. The ants had somehow managed to bring the locust down, or the locust came down into the nest itself. Either way, the locust was now deep in the nest. And, as you can see, the ants slowly started to make their way into the chamber where the locust came down.
He's cornered. He's not going down without a fight, though.
And slowly, the ants started to flood around the locust, attacking it.
He took some.
This locust would give the ants weeks worth of food for their eggs and for themselves. Then, pretty quickly, the ants had fully surrounded the locust. At this point, the locust was full of the venom from the ants, and somehow they managed to defeat this massive prey. Honestly, I was shocked to see this. With that being said, the jumping ants had finally defeated all the challenges are set.
You're not even gonna show them defeated? What the fuck? Type of shit.
You want to see?
But let me know what y'all thinking down below. Or send me more videos to react to in the Discord down below.